Hello everyone, my name is Dana. Today, me and my group members will present our taxation issue assignment regarding a study on the impact of COVID-19 on the tourism industry in Malaysia. This is our group members, including me, Deborah, Siew, Diamond, and Amirul. Without further delay, I will pass the session to the first presenter.
Hello everyone, my name is Heng and I will start to present the introduction part. First of all, tourism industry is one of the leading service industry, and it is a significant source of economic growth in Malaysia economy. The presence of COVID-19 has adverse impact on the global tourism industry, including the hospitality, transportation, entertainment, restaurant, and other tourism-related sectors. Besides, the outbreak of pandemic has caused the nation's tourism industry to lose nearly 3.37 billion in the first quarter of 2020. Apart from that, in Malaysia, the number of tourists has decreased due to the travel restrictions and bans imposed by the government during this pandemic. However, in this study, we aim to investigate the impact of COVID-19 on the tourism industry in Malaysia. Secondly, to review supporting incentives provided by the Malaysian government to address the risk and recommendations to ease the problem faced by this industry.
Hello, it's me again. We will proceed with literature review. Tourism industry is a business that will directly provide goods or services to facilitate business and leisure activities away from the home environment. Some examples of sectors within the tourism industry are transportation, hospitality, food and beverage, entertainment, and other tourism-dependent sectors. According to Malaysian Investment Development Authorities, tourism industry is the third largest contributor to Malaysian GDP at around 50.9% in the year 2019. COVID-19 is caused by a virus named pathogen severe acute respiratory symptom coronavirus 2. It begins when a cluster of patients with a mysterious respiratory illness was diagnosed in December 2019 in Wuhan, China. Until November 2021, there is a total of 4 significant variants of concerns are being detected, which are Beta, Gamma, Delta, and Omicron. Impact of COVID-19 on tourism industry. The outbreak of COVID-19 has brought huge losses to Malaysian tourism industry. All three Malaysian major airlines, AirAsia, Malaysia Airlines, and Malindo Air, have suffered significantly strange in their total revenue when the passengers carried dropped by 90% in the first quarter of 2021. According to the CEO of the Malaysian Association of Hotels, 120 hotels have been shut down due to heavy monetary losses, and there are a total of 170,084 hotel room bookings have been cancelled from January until March 2020. Entertainment sectors are also badly affected. More than half of the spa operations have closed. Besides, cinema closure caused Malaysia's box office collections fell by 85% in year 2020. In order to ensure the sustainability of the tourism industry in Malaysia, Malaysian government has announced a variety of supporting incentives. Examples of tax incentives are postponement of monthly tax installment payment, penalty-free revision of tax estimate, and personal income tax relief for domestic traveling expenses of up to 1,000 ringgit. Some examples of non-tax incentives are 50% discount on electricity bill, exemption from paying Human Resources Development Fund, wage subsidy program, special relief facility, microcredit facility, and one-off cash assistance. Under Budget 2022, MOTEC has also been allocated a series of incentives totaling 1.6 billion ringgit as a means to promote and revise tourism industry in Malaysia. That's all for me. Further details will be discussed in result and discussion part. Thank you.
Hello, here is Siew again, and I will present the part of methodology. In research methodology, first we conducted doing online interview with the Purus Hotel in Sungai Petani, which to gain in-depth understanding of the current situation of the tourism industry. Besides, we use online research method. For example, we collected the source document from Science Direct, Google Scholar, and other portals to support our discussion. That's all for me. Thank you.
Good day to Ms. Lim. I'm Khee, and now me and Deborah would like to present the results and discussions for our research. In order to achieve our aims of study, we have conducted an interview sessions with Pearls Hotel, Sungai Petani, to understand more about the impact of COVID-19 to tourism industry. Pearls Hotel is 4-star hotel located in Sungai Petani, Kedah. We have interviewed Mr. Tan, the account manager, and Ms. Intan, the reservation manager of the hotel. During the interview sessions, both the interviewees have provided us some of the effects of pandemic COVID-19 to the hotel. The first effect is the decline of the average total reservations per day. The reservations through phone, walk-in, and website had decreased significantly due to the pandemic. The second effect is the decline of average walk-in guests. The travel of guests must be approved by MITI in order for them to stay in hotel. Besides, the restaurant business in hotel is poorly affected following the decline in number of guests. Lastly, pandemic COVID-19 has changed management policies of hotel. For example, the employees are taking their turn in fulfill their duties in hotel. Next, Ms. Intan and Mr. Tan has provided us some of the recommendations to ease the hotel's problem during the pandemic. First, government needs to take their responsibility in rebuild and promote the tourism industry. A fully prepared and detailed SOP should be published to tourism industry in order for the business to be well prepared in reopening their business again to customers. It can help to narrow the gap between government policies and industrial preparedness. Next, the hotel management should be responsible too in easing the problems. The management should be more proactive in reducing virus transmission risk by providing detailed guidelines for staffs and guests. The proactive of management in making the hotel to be a safe place for stays can attract more guests by increasing the confidence level of guests toward hotel. For tax incentives, the hotel found out that the deferment of monthly tax installments, the availability to revise the tax estimates in the third month instead of the sixth and ninth month, and the tax incentives for PPE, property, plant and equipment, are very helpful for them. Besides, they are hoping to get more capital allowance and tax deductions for PPE since more purchase has been done on PPE to ensure the low risk of the virus spreading. For non-tax incentives, the discount on electricity bill and the wage subsidy program was well received by the hotel management. Both Ms. Intan and Mr. Tan are delighted with those incentives received, and they hope that those incentives could be extended for longer periods since the pandemic still has impact to them until now. So that's all from me. I will pass to Deborah to present her parts. Thank you.
Thanks, Damon, and hi, Ms. Lim. My name is Deborah, and I'll be continuing the presentation with the supporting incentives from the government. In the last 2 years, the government has announced various stimulus packages, which includes both tax and non-tax incentives for the tourism industry. The tax incentives given can be grouped into 5 categories. First, we'll look at the corporate income tax. In the past 2 years, businesses are allowed to defer their monthly income tax installments. They can revise their income tax estimates in the third month, and there's a 20,000 ringgit income tax rebate for newly established SMEs. Next, businesses involved in managing accommodation premises are exempted from charging service tax on their guests, and a 50% remission of penalty for late payment of service tax was given. Next, businesses were able to claim capital allowance on non-disposable PPE purchased and accelerated capital allowance on machinery and equipment purchased, including ICT equipment. Next, tour operators are eligible for tax exemption on their statutory income, and foreign tourists staying in any accommodation premises in Malaysia will be exempted from tourism tax. Lastly, tax deductions will be given for disposable medical PPEs purchased, renovation and refurbishment of premises, and a double tax deduction will be given for expenditures incurred on tourism-related training activities. The non-tax incentives can be grouped into 5 categories as well. Financing assistances are given to help the businesses reduce their cash flow burden, and examples of them are the loan moratorium, deferment of loan repayment, microcredit scheme, and the Penjana Tourism and Penjana SME financing. For discounts, businesses were given 10 to 15% off discounts on their monthly electricity bills for the past 2 years, and 100 ringgit discount vouchers were given for people who went on domestic trips. Next, grants in the form of cash were also given to help ease the business's financial burden, and examples are the Prihatin Special Grant and Gamelan Malaysia 2021. Next, WSP or the Wage Subsidy Program had different phases where there were different requirements of eligibility as well, but generally 600 ringgit to 1,200 ringgit per month per employee were given to employers depending on the company size. Other non-tax incentives given are businesses were exempted from paying the HRDF, one-off cash assistance for certain groups, and also additional funds for business. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello and hi, my name is Amirul with Mohammad. I will be presenting the conclusion about the impact of the COVID-19 on the tourism industry in Malaysia. The Department of Statistics data show that Malaysia domestic visitor arrival decreased by 44.9%, which is 131.7 million visitors in 2020 compared with 239.1 million visitors in 2019. Impact of that, the domestic tourism spending decreased 60.8% last year to RM40.4 billion compared with 103.2 billion in 2019. Lastly, the unemployment rate jumped 4.8% to 4.9% between December 2020 and January 2021 as the pandemic impacted tourism-related industry. Based on the slide, the effect of incentives in the short term and long term towards business and the government. In the short term, we see and believe the tourism industry can recover faster due to sufficient fund RM1.6 billion in budget 2020. Next, the business can reduce the cash flow and tax burden. Besides, it will encourage the domestic travel because the citizens are able to claim under tax relief maximum RM1,000 ringgit. Lastly, industry players can be restructuring their finance for the next few years with the incentive that provide them. While for the long term, we expect the government no longer able to cover the cost without any revenue from the taxation. The tourism industry will be suffering and struggling if the government did not continue supporting them for the next few years. The government will introduce a new type variance of the tax to cover the cost and increase the national income for the next few years. That's all for me. Thank you.
Here's come to the end of our group presentations. Thank you for having your times. Goodbye, everyone.